So welcome back to the channel, and I may be a little late with this video, but today let's talk Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. What a great title, you can't fit on a thumbnail, but screw it, let's jump into the Switch version and see what we think. So Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair follows on from the 3D platformer in 2017. This series comes from a team once legendary for the work they did with Rare Games. Think every great 3D platformer pretty much ever, and a few of the 2D ones before that as well. Think SNES and N64 era and you've got them. Yooka-Laylee formed originally from a Kickstarter. Here though, they pass up on the Banjo and Kazooie 3D they adopted in the original, and they go straight for the old school 2D with a stunning 3D overworld. Think Donkey Kong here with less gorilla and more chameleon and bat. So story wise, don't expect too much, but they give us more than enough for any 2D side scroller. This is think big arch nemesis, get out there and stop him. And in this case, we're out to stop the evil capital B after he creates a form of mind control device. It's called the Hive Mind. Saving the day though here, it's very simple. Navigate each stage, save members of the B-Tallion, and eventually reach the Impossible Lair with friends in tow where he awaits. Gameplay here, it shouldn't really surprise anyone. Navigate a 3D overworld before entering 2D stages with pretty standard platform tropes. That's right, here we have run, jump, fly, roll, and you can attack your way through increasingly intricate platforms, obstacles, puzzles, and enemies. As we beat these, that will progress you towards that next stage and eventual endgame. Now Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, however, it does provide a surprising twist when it comes to that endgame. The Impossible Lair, you have access to the final level immediately. Now this thing is absolutely grueling and it will test even the best. Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair does a fantastic job at letting you feel the hero's weaknesses and provides you then with more than enough incentive to leave this extremely challenging level for the very end. So how have they done this? How have they incentivized you to go back to each level before moving to this final stage? Because when you beat a level, you free one of the mind controlled battalion members, which, when saved, adds an additional hit point and makes that final challenge just that little bit easier. Now level design here, it feels challenging but fair. We see more than enough checkpoints to lift that difficulty spike away from, let's say, some of the more brutal games of yesteryear. And yes, I'm looking at you, Lion King. The format of dual characters, the title Yooka and Laylee, it does provide some strategy as well. Get hit once and you have an opportunity, if somewhat brief, to reconnect with Laylee before he flies away. Here, it's basically regaining and getting back your shield, your hit point before your demise, and this is extremely beneficial in those earlier levels before you start freeing the battalion and increasing how many times your characters can be hit. Outside of the 2D levels, we also get the beautifully crafted 3D overworld with a ton of hidden collectibles and paths, including tonics, which are abilities that will help you with your progression, and just overall simplifying the experience. Think, extra hit point maybe, or maybe you want a new ability. That's where these things can be applied. From the 3D overworld as well, you can actually manipulate the core 20 levels and change their appearance. What this does is it actually doubles up the count from 20 to 40, and when you play them the second time, you're going to see new features, new enemies, and they're going to play in a very different way. This isn't just the standard platformer map, however. There's some real obstacles, puzzles, challenges in here, and to progress throughout this map, you need to unlock new areas with what's called TWiT kinds. You're going to be collecting these from level to level, and then you're paying Trouser the Snake, probably one of the best names in video games, to unlock gates around this 3D world, and you'll see that the mist is lifted. When it comes to graphics, Yooka-Laylee, it delivers on multiple fronts. First, the 2D, it's extremely reminiscent of Donkey Kong Country, and what a game to mirror. Beautiful, vibrant levels, with well thought out design, it delivers a true beauty on the Switch. This, for me, is a game that the Switch was made for, both handheld and docked. You're not going to be disappointed. This thing runs at a solid 60 FPS. Each level, I will say, it feels uniquely alive, themes are varied as you progress, and this stops the game from ever feeling repetitive. Now, obstacles provide the necessary level of intimidation, the graphics are cartoony throughout, and the characters and enemy animation, it's perfectly suited to the player input and the world around you. Yooka's movement here in particular is just an absolute joy to watch, especially when he barrels his way across the screen and through enemies. When it comes to the 3D world, it's clear Yooka-Laylee's first outing paid off. Expect an identical matching graphical style to the 2D levels, with more of an isometric view here. But overall, I'll say this is a stunning game to look at, and I think everybody should be very, very happy. So finally, the music and sound in Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair is simply put, fantastic. Coming from David Wise, who has a huge back catalogue here, including Donkey Kong, Battletoads and Double Dragon, Viva Pinata, and actually most recently Snake Pass, this is an exceptional piece of work. It just embodies the world and brings the characters to life, and I think as usual David Wise has simply put not disappointed. When it comes to sound effects, we don't have much, but what we do have again is of the highest quality. Jumps, attacks, enemies, they each provide the player with a fun yet perfectly suitable effect. So let's talk final verdict, and with both a physical and digital release, Yooka-Laylee comes in somewhere between the $29.99 to $39.99 price point, and it's more than fair for what we get here. For me, I had to go physical, but I wouldn't have been disappointed with this one paying a full premium of, $50 to $60. Here we have a throwback to some of the classics of the 2D genre, while doing enough to add its own stamp and simply prove this team's ability and expertise in the platforming world. Not only for me is this a step up from the original release, but it's also on par with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I'm extremely happy to add this one to my collection. Fantastic world design, characters and gameplay is supported when with ramping difficulty, the freedom to tackle the game as you please, and an incredible soundtrack. Today I'm awarding Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair a 9 out of 10. This one, it's an absolute must buy. Thanks for joining us today. We also love to talk to you in the comments below, so let us know what you think and if you will be picking this one up. My big question though is, does this appeal to you more than the original 3D adventure? Thanks for watching, hit subscribe, hit like, and we'll see you all on the next Gaming X.
Paso a paso demuestro lo que ella tiene. Sin reposo te baila trap, salsa y reggae. Por si acaso le muestro lo que tiene el nene. Lo que quiero mami, solo que el orden